overhead lights on because the ones in the door, the cord shorted out and we can't find the cord. We had 2 or 3, but you know. One person, okay. We're going in here. There's that. Okay, yeah. I remember. I almost forgot what I was going to do in this live. Kind of right about there. I might scoot it over here a little bit. No, I'm not working on this leaf blower today, but I am working on a different leaf blower so I can get it up for sale. Some murky oil. Oh, Liam shows up. No comments, okay. Oh, got those screws under there. Keep this rag off to the side because I know I'll need it. Just getting everything out while everybody gets on here. Let's see that bit still in there. Okay, took it out. That's good. Let's see, any comments? Wow, 11 people. Been on 3 minutes. No comments, okay. Just getting out a couple tools here. T25. Flat and a Phillips. I don't need them. And that. There. I try to keep this table organized because I can't work in a unorganized environment. No comments, okay. Okay. So I think this is the first thing I want to do. Yeah. Hey, got a viewer. I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Or a comment, I mean. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. It's kind of ran together. Hang on. Trying to get my camera in the right spot here. This here is always the trickiest part, getting the camera in the right spot. There we go. I'll scoot it in just a hair. So, this needs a new recoil. As you can see, it dug into it, and the reason why I didn't just, fix it and use it was because the spring broke inside, and figured it ain't worth messing with it, and I can just get a new recoil. Oops. Dropped the screwdriver. Okay, I got the recoil over here. Kind of a generic. Oh, 00, okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How about you? First thing is these. Oops, that's the wrong size. There's a screw here and a screw. I'll show you. Try to get the light in there. There's a screw up there and a screw there. I don't know where the other two went. I had them, but they ran away. There's a YM290 Yardman. I want to get this thing fixed and get it sold while it's still kind of fall. 00. This here is the recoil actually, and I'm replacing it on here. And then we'll move on to the second part of this live. As you can see, it dug into the. You can see it kind of dug into it right up to there. The reason why I didn't just fix it was because the spring broke inside, and you don't get much going on with a broken spring. So I hope that recoil will work. Now I tried getting an Echo recoil for like a 2520, but those weren't the right shape, which is too bad because they were like $8, and that would be 3 times cheaper than this. So here's a new recoil. Check to be sure that they're the same, which they appear to be. And let me read your comment. Yeah, they're not very fun to deal with when they break. If you try to fix them, that is. But most of the time it's cheaper to replace it because you can get cheap ones off Amazon. Hang on, you gotta. Might not fit on there. They look the same. Do I have it on the right way? That's how it's supposed to go. I said it was furthest forward. Okay, yeah, it fits. Good. Just a little tricky to get on. I had the other 2 screws because it's got 4, but I had taken them out, so I didn't have to keep taking the 4 screws out, and I lost 2. I'm sure they're sitting in their magnet trays, and I wonder what they're for. Maybe for this. And then there's another screw right down in there. And then I'm going to check the spark arrestor screen in the muffler just to be sure it's clear. So that way I know that there will be no issues with it once I sell it. Get that screw started. Which it doesn't want to start. Probably just need to loosen the screw up a little bit over here so I can wiggle it around. Well, I'm gonna check comments real quick here. Yeah, it's a very similar recoil, but I tried putting a Echo recoil on here, and did not fit. Because I have an Echo blower. I took the recoil off of that, and it was just different enough that it wouldn't fit in there because it's a pretty tight square. There we go. It's going down in there. I guess a pretty tight hole, I should say. Hope Liam shows up. He always spams me. I'm going to adjust. Yeah, 00, that's where we get the majority of our parts because we have Prime. And I'm getting really cheap off of there. Ooh, that's not good for the drill. Hold on, I gotta get through here. Well, it still works, which is good. Let's see. Can you see? Yeah, so there's a screw. There's 2 screws down there, which you can see. One there. And then one over here by the spark plug boot. And that's it. T25 for those. Yeah. Won't come out like it's captive. There we go. Screw there. And then there's one more. There's one by the recoil that I didn't see. I might have to use a different screwdriver for that. And then there's one right down in there next to the spark plug. And try to snake the drill in there to. I might have to use a screwdriver on that one. Let's see how easily that handle comes off, I wonder. Man, I gotta take the whole thing apart to get that handle off, so I'll work around it. Yeah, no, it won't come off without that coming out. It's weird that they make that like that. Hold on, let me check comments. I don't think we have. Oh, I know what I could use. Hold on, we'll be right back. MTD at its finest. Very good short. Trying to grab a bit over here real quick. That I might be able to. T25. Let me check. I kind of wanted the shorter bits because it fit in there better. That don't fit. What size is that? It's 215. I need like a 220 for that, I believe. I can't find one. Huh. 225, 220. The 220 fits in there perfectly. Yeah, of course, right when I'm trying to do something is when everything decides to not work right. Do it live. Get out of there. Okay. Hold on, I'm just checking comments. Hey, we got Mr. L in the house. How you doing? Let's see. 1/4-inch wrench. Trying to find the right socket and whatnot that I can, for the right bit that I can get this screw out here, because you know I had to put one right under the handle, so you can't really get a drill or anything on it. And you gotta take the whole thing apart to take the handle off, so I know I ain't doing that. Finally, I had to use a T20 bit with a 1/4-inch wrench on the side that normally goes into the drill in order to get that screw out. See, that's a different thread than the other ones. It's a fine thread because it was going into the aluminum housing. Let's see. I shouldn't have to take this bar plug off. No. Okay. Wow, that's a big muffler. What I'm trying to get to right now is I want to check they put a little screen in the muffler they say it helps stop sparks from coming out of there, and I want to check that it's not clogged up with carbon. Let's see. I hope that screw there don't put up a fight. Nope. Came right out. Wow. Judging by the way the head of it looks, you wouldn't think it would come out as easily as it did. It's a tiny little screw. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's so small. Let's see. Is that the only screw? No. Who am I kidding? It's MTD. Okay, we got another T25. I think T25. No, T20. Oh well. I'll just put that in the drill here. Let's see. I can probably get that out without a magnet. Yeah. Never worked on one of these until I got this one. Those two are for the muffler. I'll put those over there. Just trying to keep my screws organized so I know which ones go where. Let's see. Is there any screws down at the bottom that's holding that screen? No. There's another screw hidden back in there, which I cannot get the drill into there. It's tight. Let me check something real quick here. Should have a T21 bit in here somewhere. How many we have? I should certainly hope so. T15. Okay, I don't have the right bit, of course, for the drill. Okay, Double O. I didn't see the comment. I didn't see your comment. Let's see. I can't hardly. It's tight. Let's see. I might be able to get the bit just in the tip of the chuck of the drill so I can get a little more length out of it. Yeah, that's what I needed. Drill to crack it loose. Need a magnetized screwdriver to get that out. There we go. Didn't drop it. Let's see. I'll go over there. Pull that out. I guess that's some sort of a heat shield. Let's see. Might have to take the whole entire muffler off to get that screen out. Which again, MTD, you know, they don't make anything easy to work on. And this way I can kind of look in there too at the piston. See what kind of shape it's in. It does run pretty okay, so I know the piston isn't definitely bad. Well, I don't take that gasket off, so I don't. That way I know how it goes back. Oh, it fell off. I don't know if this one has a screen. Sometimes people take them out before previous owners take them out. They say that it helps stop sparks from coming out because it being a two-stroke, carbon builds up a lot more and can chip off and spark, and they say that it helps with that, but it does not, and all it does is restrict your airflow, and then you get less power. Okay, there is the screen right there, which it is completely completely clear, I mean. And that's weird. They have it like welded to the muffler, so you can't take it off. Let me just check my comments, and I gotta grab a wire brush. Good deal, Mr. L. Okay. Gotta find a wire brush. It's not full of gunk, because I filled up with gunk. Clean that all off. There's a little bit of stuff on there, but did I need to do this? No, but that way I know it's clean. And piston looks fine. And I'll get these 3 screws here put back in. Should put anti-seize on there, but I ain't gonna do it. These particular kind of screws are hard to get started. They're a really weird style of thread. Did I tighten that one? No, but I am now. Okay. Here's those tightened. I'll check my comments real quick. I think it went on like that. Gotta grab the gasket here. I think that's how it came off, yeah. And get those back in. I'll just get them started with this, which is probably not the best idea, but hey, that's what I'm going to do. Is that the right way? Don't seem to be. Yeah, that's the right way. I was thinking of the cover, how it goes on. That's tight, and that's tight, and I'll just check the screwdriver here. Yep, those are tight. Okay, muffler covers over here. That goes on like that. Hold on, just checking comments. Yep. Gonna be bad traffic. Get that screw in there. Which it doesn't want to go in there too good for some reason. Kind of looks like it's cross-threading, but it's not. And T20. This screw, which goes back here. I think that they should make all screwdrivers with a magnetic tip. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain if it's clinging onto it and you don't want it to, it can get in your way, but still they should make them all magnetic. And there was one screw right up in there somewhere. I think. Hold on, I can't even see. I think that's, yeah, going in. I don't know if I ever cleaned the spark plug in this thing or not. I'm not putting a new one in it. That's for sure. Screw don't like that too much. Wrong screw. Not cross threading, it's just threads that are kind of had some gunk on them. Dead stink bug down in there. That's tight there. It's kind of hot in here. I don't know if I just said that or not. I don't remember. And well, it's about 55 in the garage right now. I do have the door somewhat open, but I have to have it halfway closed because the overhead lights, or the door would be blocking the overhead lights. Just check if this recoil will work. It's got a lot of compression, which is good. And then this beauty cover goes back on. Might take the plug out. It'll make it easier. Gotta get a socket. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this ratchet away too while I'm over there. I think that should be a 5/8. I'll be right back. Looks like 5/8 to me. It's kind of one of those odd sized plugs. Yeah, it's 5/8. Doesn't look good or bad. Just good enough to be used. Okay. Put this beauty cover back on here. Now I'll move on to the next thing. This is a little tricky to get on. There we go. I think that's how it should be. Yeah, just like that. And then I gotta swap out bits here. Ooh. clutch kind of made a weird noise. And then there's one screw over by the spark plug here, which I showed taking that out. So if any of you guys paid attention, you'll know where it's at. Okay, I probably won't put the screw in back by the recoil just because it's. I'll do it off the camera just because it's kind of hard and it's boring. Okay. And there's a screw. I'll finish these with a screwdriver because it's going into plastic and I don't want to strip it out. I'll give it a pull with the spark plug out so I can be sure that the recoil is going to do how it should. And then screw right there. Keep hearing raindrops hitting the ground. Think somebody's walking around out there. Because it was raining almost all day. Definitely on the cheaper side of recoils, but hey, it works. You know, get the spark plug back in. It's kind of generic, I guess. Off-brand. But it feels like it's got a lot of compression. I'm gonna put the spark plug in. Get this recoil out of the way. I gotta get the knob on the throttle here. So right now I have to use pliers. It's a very weird throttle. Your throttle is that shaft sticking out there. It's not like a regular cable. Just checking the comments here. I'm gonna give it a pull with the spark plug in. The recoil once you get the right kind of grip on it, it feels good. Okay, pliers will go over there for it. I want to put a couple of things away real quick here. Get moved on to the next step. The next thing. I can't talk. Shouldn't need a T20. But if I do, I have it on the drill. I'll just get this stuff kind of lined back up. I'll put this away. Get all this put back. I'll be right back. I gotta put the bracket away. Making it to where I don't have a big mess to clean up at the end. I'll be right back. Move everything to get to everything. I'll lower the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay. There's our next project. Now this saw should run. This is our neighbor's saw. I cleaned the carburetor, put new fuel lines on it, and put a new air filter in it, and then never touched it. And now it's back. How the stop button won't work. On. And there we go, it's just stuck. And now the primer bulb is deteriorated. Let's see. Can you guys see? I'm gonna have to raise it up again so you can see. And I'll twist it around to kind of right there. So, first step is taking this plastic cover off, which there's 3 screws, one here, one here, and one up here at the front in the top left corner. Get those out. You can see it's never been ran since I put this new air filter in it. It's just got dirt on it from me putting it in there and being taken out. Next step to get to the primer is there's a couple screws. You gotta take the recoil off of the side, which there's 2 on the bottom. And 2, one right there, and one over here by the bar oil cap, which I gotta try to feel to get the bit in there, and then that whole cover there should just slide off. I guess I didn't get this screw all the way out. It's kind of hanging up. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't in there. The recoil works fine. I'm not gonna mess around with cleaning this because it'll probably just get thrown back in the corner again. I need to kind of put some lubricant on those. That one is a little sticky. More than I would like. Let's see. Here, right here is the primer bulb. I hope I have the right one for it. I know I got one that's similar, but might be a slightly different style. I don't have parts for these little cheap saws around because I don't usually keep the saws around. 2 Phillips screws on this primer. Yeah, I don't have the right primer unless it pops it out. And I'm gonna get that fuel line off of there, which is kind of glued on there. Nope, I do not have the right primer. The kind of primer I have is that kind, which would snap down in there, and you cannot pull these apart and replace just the bulb, which is kind of a stupid design in my opinion. You have to replace the whole bulb, or the whole plastic part with the bulb. But the chain needs to be tightened, so I'll do that real quick here. And I'm just gonna check the angle. Okay, you can see good enough in my opinion. And you just want to gently loosen these. So snugged. So tomorrow I'll ask him if he wants me to put a new primer in it. And then I'll probably make another live after it comes. That's tight enough. When you're tightening a chain, you only want to tighten it enough until it sucks up into the bar. Any more, and you will damage your bar. And then you want to push up on the tip of the bar, because that will also change it when you're in the wood. And then snug down your bar nuts. And you also don't need to get these crazy tight. You just need to get them snug. Just about like that. You should have your thumb just about maybe 3 inches above this, and that will give you the perfect amount of leverage so you don't over tighten it. And you can see the chain, well, see, it hasn't been used in so long, there's no oil on the chain, so that's why it's a little sticky. Yeah, now it's working because it's been moved. This all has been sitting a couple years, so the bar hasn't been oily. I did put a new plug in it when I last had it here, along with the air filter, which I put back in so I don't get dirty. I kind of find it sad that they don't even make a cover for the air filter. We have another little Poulan Pro right next to this, and it's even got a cover for the air filter. So I think there's just no quality anymore, you know. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of quality even in these things, but even in the better brands like Stihl, they're just going downhill day by day. Well, David didn't show up, and Liam didn't show up, but whatever. They never show up. Let's see. I wonder if I should check the spark arrestor while I'm here, because chainsaws are really bad for those clogging up more than anything else. So I'll grab a socket real quick. That looks like a 5/16 for a 3/8. Wrong side. Nope, 5/16. Ha! I was right the first time. Get those cracks loose. But that's not the whole muffler. That's gonna fall off. Kinda seems like it will be. The whole muffler coming off. Yeah, I know, I keep knocking everything down. I don't think I didn't check this when I fixed it the first time. I'll do it by hand now. I'll pick that up in a second. Let me just check my chat real quick. I doubt nobody said anything. Nope. Yeah, there's some buildup kind of on the muffler itself in the hole. I'll just check the port real quick. Yep, piston looks fine. I don't think this saw has been used a whole lot because it seems to be in too good of shape to have a lot of hours on it. And this should pry apart, I would think. Right there is where the, it's like the exhaust exits. Surely they make this come apart, I would think. Well, how do they even get in there? To check the screen, is my question. Huh. I don't really want to damage the muffler by trying to check it. Because, you know, surely they would make this to where you can pry it apart and get in there. But, you know, there again, it's Poulan, which is MTV, so, you know, can't expect a whole lot out of them. There's no, like, rivets or anything around the edge that would keep this cover on here. Smells oily. Huh. Oh well, I guess I can't get into it unless I'm missing like a teeny little screw somewhere that's holding it together. Nope, I guess you can't. I guess they want you just to change the whole muffler if there's something wrong with it. Which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, there's not even any wear marks on that piston. So I'm betting this thing has low hours. That just kind of amazes me that you can't get in there. Okay, that goes like that. Get the rocks off of it. Okay, pull that through. Push that through, I guess. Get that one through there. And get it put back in. Like so. I think that one started. Yeah. Now my hands are all oily. Should have brought an adapter for the drill so that way I didn't have to sit here and do this, but I didn't. Pull that handle back a little bit. I will be selling that Yardman leaf blower. I'll probably sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, those are snugged down. I'll probably just set those covers on there and put it back in the corner. I won't mess around with tightening them until I find out if I can go ahead and order that primer bulb, just to save time in the future. I'll wipe off my hands before I touch my tablet. because they're oily now. Okay, 30. The saw that we have is a 3314, 14-inch bar, 33 cc's. This is a 14-inch bar. And it is, how many cc's, I wonder? 36. So this saw is 3 cc's bigger than our Chinese saw. Okay, let's check. Alright, well, that's probably the end of this stream. Too bad I didn't have the right primer bulb. Yeah, that's all one piece. I was hoping it'd be a couple, but it's not. Alright, well, I'll find out about that primer tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll make a video or a live stream out of it, but I'll probably do one or the other. Alright, well, that'll be the end of this stream. Thanks everybody for stopping in. See you later. Bye.